Afternoon, everybody. Another super long day isn't even over yet, but I hope it's going to be over soon. I had a real dilemma, a real problem on my hands today. I'll have a video about that tomorrow, but let's just say things were in peril here as far as production is concerned, especially the tomatoes. But I think I've rectified the situation. But awful frightening, right? I mean, you really have to. The thing that kills me about this place, and a lot of people have said, "Oh, your place is too. You go buy a 60-acre farm and then complain or whatever." Right? Right? Okay. Right. I'm going to do that. But I'm just saying, everything. It's all a question of scale, and to me, if you were raised as I was in cities and you've been an urban dweller all of your life, of course this is all a challenge, and you want to make things nice, and then down the road, right, you plant the bottle brush, you plant the Lady Banks roses behind me because you're thinking, oh, give the neighbors something nice besides the chain link fence to look at here. Like I said, must well be the national symbol of the hood is the chain link fence with concertina wire. Give them something nice to look at, and then it ends up being so much work to take care of all this stuff and keep it trimmed down, every year. So the question I get asked time and time again is, would you consider selling the Rancho? And it's a legitimate question. I used to get a little ruffled when people would ask it before, but not so much now, because people see me not so much complain, but they're with me. They got my back here. They're with me on all the projects and things like that. And it's a question that's asked frequently, not out of it's asked because people are caring, like, wow, you're really swamped with the workload. And then you try to do projects and things on top of it. It's a very time-consuming operation, but it's also a very worthy operation. If you go back and look at the videos when I first moved here to the Rancho in 2011, this place has come a long way. Right, like when I moved into this house here, and people would come and visit me, and one family member just burst into tears as you must have lost your mind. It was crazy at the bottom of the real estate crash of 2008 when I bought in 2011. But they never hung around long enough to see that you're either the kind of person that has a vision and you can see what something might be, or what you see at that moment appalls you, and it's a total turn off, and you just think to yourself, you can't envision anything beyond what is. And I don't think everybody has the ability to have that vision, and that's probably a good thing, right? I mean, some people might get buried in something. It might be their way of life's way of keeping them free of getting involved in something that they may not be able to really pull off, right, and make a go of it. So, but I walked in here in 2011, and there were like, there was 1, 2, 3. I think there was like 4 lights in the whole place. There was a light. There was a bedroom light in each of the bedrooms. That's 2. There was a light in sort of what I call the den area in here, and there was 1 light in the kitchen, and that was it. It was wired with 50 amps, and I thought, man, I'm going to have to bring 200 amps into this place to modernize it and things like that. And, the one saving grace is that there had been a new roof put on a new roof put on this, which saved me a lot. And things are holding up well. But it is a lot to take on. But I probably would not sell. I would probably be more inclined to have somebody come in on a pay basis and take care of some things too. This I'm just annoyed now looking at this non-fruiting mulberry tree. I'm so tempted to just take the money and get a big chainsaw and just level this baby to the ground, if I wasn't such a scaredy cat of running a big chainsaw and all that. But But as far as selling, anybody would be a fool not to listen to an offer. You always, one of the rules in life is always give somebody else their full say. In other words, if somebody comes to you with an idea, at least hear him or her out. And so that's the way I go. You never know what you never know what life deals. I mean, God forbid, you might have a stroke or have a falling injury here, or it is a risk. And I don't want to get injured here and just 3 months later they find a skeleton. That's one way to make the paper, right? Oh my, did you hear about that? Oh yeah, I think I heard about that person on YouTube. Wow, right? Yeah, it serves him right. But I really have to chuckle about that. But I can't really see. I can't really see selling this place. I guess I would be inclined, no matter what in the future, to always have somebody in residency in the Shine Shack if it's not Blackbird. I mean, I do enjoy having somebody on the property that keeps an eye on things. It's trustworthy, and it's an important thing these days, especially in urban areas and things. A lot goes on around here. You hear it all the time. Small arms, gunfire, and screaming and hooting and hollering, and all kinds of drug addicts running the streets all hours. People racing up and down the streets. That's the thing I think that, it's not so much the property, but sometimes I think just the noise level here, just the constant noise level. Somebody said in one of the comments a couple weeks ago, "Hey, you always seem so impressed whenever you go out to a place that's really quiet." And I guess I always do. I'll always say, "Yeah, listen to this place. Listen to how quiet it is. There's nothing." And this place is just always in motion. Now, like anything else, you get used to it. You don't really hear it until you hear it, right? You pause sometimes and you think, "Wow, this area just never really settles down." And the other negative, I guess it's a positive for property value, is that they keep building and infilling with more and more development here now. And I don't know what the trend in your area is, but over here they don't build single family homes anymore. They haven't built single family homes for 2 years. All right, now everybody wants apartments, and the city now lets them build up to 10, 20 stories here. I guess that's going to be the wave of the future, is just people living in smaller and smaller and smaller area. I mean, it's possible. When I first moved to Hong Kong and moved in with the wife's, with the in-laws, that was 4 people in 300 square feet for 3 months or whatever. It was okay. I mean, it's when you're a newlywed, it's not, right. It's not ideal, and it's you're a white boy in China anyway, and that's all right. Right? It's enough to keep an eye on you. Keep an eye on you anyway. But, I guess people are just going to have to live in smaller. I mean, I was just surprised. I was seeing in Tokyo, people now live in like 3 feet by 10, like 30 square feet, just this little vertical thing that's about 12 feet tall. They put all their stuff up. Oh, man, I just say, oh, wow. Right? So maybe things will change. I mean, I just read today that our birth rate in the United States is at a historic low, which is not surprising in the culture we live in today. It's I'm not going to go down that wormhole, but yeah, I mean, it's so because they're building more and more around here. Plus, they tell me people are leaving Cal. I don't see anybody leave. I see more and more people coming in, and you know, they got to be somewhere, and they just keep putting up these mega apartment buildings now, and you know, they fill them up. So, I guess, you know, property developers think, gee, we could build a house and grab that immediate profit of, you know, $55,000 per home or something like that. Or we could just put up big monster apartment complexes, and then we create a cash flow stream for ourselves in the future. And maybe that's the way to do it. Become like a real estate investment trust or something like that. And then they can always adjust the rent or change the rents and things like that. But it does create a situation where you might overbuild. But as far as the Rancho, of course, it's a good thing. The more that's built up, of course, land becomes more and more valuable, especially in an area like this. It's highly desirable. The city, maybe not this particular area, but it's a desirable area to be in, especially for retirees that do have money, just because of the climate and being relatively close to the coast and all of the wine growing regions, and a lot of people enjoy drinking wine and wine tasting and all that. We don't really have beer tasting tours out here. But I do want to get involved with more and more homesteading projects. I don't want to have poultry on the Rancho. I don't want to deal with chickens. I might eat 2 eggs in a month. I hardly eat any eggs. I'm not, yeah, man, can you see me plucking a chicken and it's all bad. I always wanted a viral video. You know, cutting a chicken and all that. I'll do it. But it's just not for me. But I am interested in solar energy production. I am on the lookout for some cheap solar panels. Solar panels keep getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and that's exciting. And there's developing a surplus of them. There's a lot of production of them. So do some solar projects. Maybe try to do something to introduce some solar heating into the place. Oh yeah, Rose, that would be perfect because you don't run the heat in wintertime. No, we don't. I don't anyway, right? I got acclimated. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was adjusted to it. Get up in the morning and run to the shower, get warmed up, get your sweatshirt on, and you're good for the day. Woohoo! But maybe we could set up something to generate a little bit of solar, passive solar, with a little pump maybe to run that in and tie it in somewhere here, or build like an outdoor solar shower. So, you know, do some projects like that. I want to do a solar oven too. I talked about that using, because this, you know, the Rancho's blessed with a very fine sun pattern, I would say, and you're looking south here now. And the only thing is, in wintertime, the sun doesn't rise too high above. And then as we get on the summer, it becomes higher in the sky and more overhead. But the Rancho's usually in the sun most all of the day, from morning till evening. So it's a very good setup, because I don't have like really tall trees on this side. Like if I was situated in a different direction, then like westerly or whatever, then I have the sun goes down behind the big trees over it. It becomes more problematic. So it is blessed by that. Now I do want to put in crops. I do want to think about getting like a tractor or you know, at least a tiller or something like that. But I need to have a very passive system, and it needs to be dependable, especially for the watering system. And I have to be able to figure out, am I going to be able to capture enough water from the well to be able to sustain an additional 800 linear feet of crops in the back? It's a good question. It's the worst thing that would be happen is you start to grow something and you hear that well start to it's like, oh no. Then you have to switch over to city water, and they can tell, man, they're rubbing their hands with glee down at the water agency here. Oh, you're like Mr. Right, like Mr. Burns. Oh, it's a great day. Here for that. So that'll be good, but I need to have that, the ability to have that pretty much set up so that I also have the ability to travel. That seems like to be mutually exclusive sometimes, but things have worked out pretty well for me, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, and other projects too. Also, I have to figure out a way to properly use the production here, because we're going to be rapidly moving up to at least 1,000 pounds of production, if not within 2 years or so, a full ton of production here of fruit on the Rancho. And I'm not going to set up a fruit stand or something like that, but it would be nice to be able to find a way to donate or perhaps sell some of this. Donation would be my inclination, but so that it doesn't go to waste. So yeah, I don't really see myself selling the Rancho. Health might preclude that. I don't know. Rosie ain't no spring chicken, but I'm doggone lucky that built like an ox and just strong and can do without any real limitations and things. So I consider that a real blessing. And we'll see if live streaming in the future takes care of that with another fall or so. Right. Even then, everybody said, "Oh, you got a head like a mule, right?" It just, well, I ain't quite ready to be shipped off to Shady Acres yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm envisioning the content in there. Anyway, I've had a good little discussion vlog this afternoon. I'm glad I've been clawing my time back here and being able to do sit-down topical vlogs and things like that. And if you wonder where the live streams went, always make sure that you're subscribed to the Rosie Murphy channel too here, okay? Just put Rosie Murphy in the search box and there'll be my smiling face. That's where, not every night, but Fridays and Saturdays will still be on this channel, but other nights when I do go live, it'll be over there. It's always been my dream to sort of segregate the lives from the recorded content, because I notice when I do that, I become much more productive, because I always think, oh, what do I have to do today? I need something good to put on. I need to do a project that I can put on and stuff like that. Right? Okay. So it keeps me going. Anyway, thumbs up or appreciate it. If you guys have any ideas or homestead projects that you would like to see me do here, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'm not always on top of every comment, but eventually, after 2 or 3 days, I go back and start tearing into the comments and things like that. So I do check them out. It's just been awful busy today. We had a real scare here on the Rancho, so you'll be seeing that in tomorrow's video. Anyway, I'm going to close it out and wish you a wonderful day. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Homesteading in the hood. Does it get any better than that? Right. All right, guys. Your thumbs up and comments are appreciated. And yeah, let me know in the comments section down below. Have a good one.